Right. Let's welcome in our morning guest also at this moment. Avinash Gorakssakar is now with us. Siddharth Sadani is with us. Manas Jaiswal as well as Shrikant Chauhan are joining us this morning. Shrikant, let's start with you. What are your picks?
Good morning, everybody. I think the market is very clearly into range-bound activity, and based on that, we have selected our stocks. Since last few days, we have seen good amount of activity in almost all aviation stock, and we like Indigo, which is around 1020, 1030 levels. There we have seen spectacular rally from 850 to almost 1050. And based on its overall volume-based activity, we are of the view that if there is any correction, we should look for adding this stock to the portfolio. Yesterday, it was down from 1060, it was close to 1020 levels. So I think with a stop loss at 1010, we can take long positions in Indigo at current levels, and we can keep a target of close to 1100 on the high side. The other stock which we like is TCS, Tata Consultancy, which is around 2430 levels. There also we have seen good amount of activity on the back of this buyback plan. After that, we have seen good amount of correction, and yesterday it was close to 2430, which is a good retracement support for it. So with a stop loss at 2400, we can take long positions because here the risk reward ratio is favorable. We can take long position in TCS at current levels, and we can keep a target of close to 2530, 2500 on the high side. And the last
Shrikant, you mentioned TCS, right?
TCS.
Tata Consultancy.
Tata Consultancy.
Yeah, okay. Which was the third one?
Pankaj, last one, third one that we like is Power Grid. Yesterday there was good amount of activity in all power stock in the last session. Power Grid, which is around 195, 196 levels, there the formation is of triangle, and we are expecting now the stock is moving out of that triangle on the upward side. So there we have a target of close to 202, 203, and we can keep a stop loss at 193 for Power Grid long trade.
All right, Avinash, what are your topics?
Yeah, I think we have got three investment calls. The first one is on Finolex Industries. We believe that strong earnings trajectory plus the kind of traction which we have seen in the third quarter post the demonetization impact. I think the company has targeted a 14-15% volume growth for the plastic pipes as well as the PVC resin business. Our sense is that good amount of earnings growth can be seen in FY18, and the valuations look pretty attractive. We have a target price of 650 here. The other stock is NBCC. We believe that with a strong order book and very strong visibility on the top line and the kind of share of government orders which this company has already bagged, we believe that FY18 should be a very strong year. In fact, execution has been a problem area in the earlier 1 or 2 quarters, but we feel that FY18 should be a lot better. We expect a target price of 203 here. And the third stock is a small mid-cap agro company called Sri Pushkar Chemicals. We believe that strong amount of earnings growth plus good amount of earnings expansion on an absolute basis and plus good amount of EBITDA margin seen in the last 2 quarters is going to actually be seen in the fourth quarter also. And plus FY18 we could see an earnings growth of about 20 to 25%. We have a target price of around 240 here.
Right. Siddharth, what will be your top picks?
Well, we are in front of the monsoons now. Some of the expectations are coming well. Met is talking about a normal monsoon, whereas SkyMet talking about below normal. Having said that, from the rural play, what we believe is UPL looks very interesting. Most of the diversified products are from the agri input space and crops. We believe that overall perspective, it has gained market share on the back of strong product portfolio and new product launches also. They have a strong product offering in front of us. They have great promotion and advertisement kind of a budget. Overall, what we believe is it has an exponential potential to go ahead. If we talk about the sales, I think 15% CAGR growth is expected for next 2 years. In last 2 years, it was around 18% of operating margins. What we expect for next 2 years is 22 to 23% operating margins, and that is sustainable. So what we believe, it is trading around 13 times FY19. UPL looks very interesting. We can see a 40-50% upside from here. The second idea would be Federal Bank. Again, in the mid-cap banking space, Federal Bank looks very interesting. If you look at the steady loan growth, it is on the back of the corporate lending which they have done. They've seen 32% odd YOY growth in the loan book. Along with that, what we believe is in the mid-cap banking space, Federal Bank looks very interesting. Management is very confident about their asset quality, and the poor asset quality is behind us now. So what we believe is Federal Bank in the mid-cap space with strong NIMs, and of course if they are pouring into the retail space also very aggressively. So there also the NIMs would be strong. So Federal Bank in the mid-cap space looks very interesting with a medium-term perspective.
Manas, what will be your top picks?
I have two buy recommendation and one sell recommendation. First is a buy call on Century Textile, where stock is continuously making higher tops and higher bottoms from the level of 800. And yesterday it broke the resistance of 1040 with decent volumes. So I think this trend will continue in the future days also, and stock can test 1090 soon. So here one can take a long call, keep the stop loss below 1028. Second call is a buy call on Shriram Transport, where stock broke its 200-day moving average I think 2 weeks back. But for last 7-8 trading sessions, it was trading in a range of 1060 and 1020. Yesterday it broke this range upside with great volumes. All sectors are showing positive crossover. So I am expecting further up move in Shriram Transport. The possible target comes near to 1120, so one can take a long call here, keep the stop loss below 1049. And I have a sell call on Apollo Tyres, where stock rallied smartly from the level of 180 to 210 2 weeks back. And but it was facing some resistance near to 210 for last 2-3 trading sessions. Yesterday it fell sharply and closed below the support of 205. So I am expecting a correction in Apollo Tyres. So I think one can go short, keep the stop loss above 209, and you can set the target of 195.
Right. Banking as a sector will be in focus, and especially led by Kotak Bank. There is an announcement which is expected today and 3:15 p.m. today. That's in the second half of the session today towards closing. Mr. Uday Kotak himself is expected to brief the media 3:15 today. So there's some announcement which is expected. Now, Kotak Bank has a board meet on March 30th. That's tomorrow. That's for fundraising, but don't really think for that there would be a press meet today. So there's probably some announcement that is likely to come in. Now, what are the likely scenarios, or what are the buzz on the street? M&A talks with NBFCs, so maybe some of it materializes. M&A talks with big large banks. Earlier in reports have suggested that they are looking to take over Axis Bank. So let's see what happens. Fundraising, which is the board meet tomorrow, and the growth plans going ahead. These are the three scenarios that we can pick up from the buzz on the street. Again, there's no confirmation as far as this is concerned. It's just the buzz or expectations that are there from this particular meet. Earlier, Mr. Uday Kotak was present in a panel discussion, and in that, one key thing that he said was that maybe time has come where we should see some hostile takeovers. It just happened recently, and that's why probably the street is predicting that there may be some amount of M&A activity which could happen in the sector, and that's why it is buzzing. However, a lot of news reports today. And in this news report, M&M Finance has been mentioned. Remember, it's a stock which has gone up 4-5% yesterday. It will be in focus till the announcement comes out. So M&M Finance is a stock to watch out for. In the pre-open session, M&M Finance has already indicated, I think, a 10 rupee, 5 rupee higher start. So that this will be a stock which will be in focus.
There will be a few other stocks we are watching out for on news developments. A few stocks going ex-dividend. PEL giving a dividend of 90 paise a share. Hindustan Zinc giving a dividend of 27.5 rupees a share. So these will be stocks to watch. Again, Idea is in focus. There are some reports which are saying that KKR and CPPIB, which is the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board, they are looking to buy Idea's stake in Indus Towers. Just recently, we have heard that Bharti Infratel has sold 10% stake to both these players. So again, Idea will be in focus today. Tara Global has tied up with Alibaba to take Tetley tea bags to China, and Britannia has signed a joint venture with Chipita for croissant and other products.
Right. Pharma as a sector will continuously be in focus today. So you had Newland Labs, which was up 18% yesterday. Now, the inhaler drug, is likely to get approval. Now, Mylan has already launched it into UK, but US is the bigger market. Remember, Advair is the highest selling inhaler drug, so it's the biggest drug by far. And Newland is the API supplier for this drug to Mylan. So $5 billion plus is what the market size of this drug is. That's why it becomes important. Market is expecting the number, and you can see yesterday the stock was up 17.8%. Alchem Labs, they have their Buddi facility which supplies to India majority, not to USA, but they had their US FDA which issued a Form 483. 3 observations, that's what the management told us when the Form 483 was issued. Now these 3 observations are on your screen, and none of these observations point out to any sort of data integrity issue. In fact, most of them are largely on the procedural side, so I don't think that the market would focus much on this. In fact, they would move ahead and try to see what growth rate Alchem is expected to do. Dishman Pharma was in focus yesterday. It was up to a full 20%. There were 3 million shares plus in terms of volumes yesterday, and you had a strong delivery which was marked 49%. Remember, there was an update on the news flow which we covered it throughout the day yesterday. Today also the stock is likely to be in focus. As far as Aurobindo Pharma is concerned, they also got an approval yesterday. 2 brokerages, Merrill Lynch and Citi, have pointed out that that this approval is good. Aurobindo, Citi maintained its buy. Their target price is 1130. Merrill Lynch says we would also maintain our buy. Their target price is 1010 for Aurobindo Pharma. So this is also a stock which could be in focus within the pharma pack.
Let's take a look at how the currency is doing. The currency has been gaining a lot of ground, and today the rupee is beyond 65 to a dollar. In fact, this is the highest level that we have seen for the rupee for nearly a year and a half. This is the highest since October 2015. So, whatever small amounts of FI buying coming in, we are seeing the rupee gaining quite a bit, and even today, these levels have not been safe for quite some time. Shrikant, have you seen the charts of the currency, the rupee? What's happening here? Because just I think about 2 weeks ago, when we breached 66 we were below 66 to a dollar. The belief was closer to 65 and a half. That was the best that the rupee gets, and people are still holding on to targets of 70 for the rupee against the dollar. What are you seeing on the charts for the currency?
See, there is like a lot of activity in all currencies, and especially because of there is a good amount of activity in all global currencies, especially dollar index, which is like close to 100 levels, and it is like a very close to its threshold level. I'm to say, in case if we see dollar index is trading below 99, then we can expect further more activity in all other currencies. But while looking at the formation of Indian rupee, I am of the view that it is more related with the global trend. Very first, again, it was not at all expected that the rupee will sustain above this mark of 66, but it is sustaining above this mark. So now the next level to watch out for is close to 64.30, 64.35. There, Indian rupee is having very good resistance, and around those levels we are expecting now the currency is moving. So in the near term, if we see any sell-off or any weakness, then the currency may again fall to the levels of 65.70, 65.80. But now the next range has established for it. It is between now 65.80 and 64.30.
Right. That's what can be expected from the rupee. Shrikant, quickly levels for Nifty as well.
I think Nifty is very clearly range bound. It looks difficult to cross 9200, 9220 in hurry. But yes, today we may see the levels of 9170, 75 because we are in the range. And 2 days back when the market was down, the Nifty has formed double bottom kind of formations around 9025 levels. And while looking at the option data, 9100 is a very good support for it. So based on that, 9170 and 9020 is the level. But we are of the view that eventually the market is going to break this 9020 and we are going to see the levels of 89. So broader range for the Nifty is 92 and 89. But in today's date, 9170 is the next level to watch out for.
Right. Let's just look at the opening as well and where the Nifty opens. So 9,129 above the second resistance, exactly in line with what SGX was indicating. 32 points higher now as I've extended some gains. Kotak Mahindra Bank is up 3 rupees. Of course, it will be a stock which will be in focus today. Let's see what's the announcement that comes in. 10,000 shares traded for Kotak Mahindra Bank. Not much that one can read at this point of time, but it's a stock which is in focus right now. Pharma stocks have been in focus. Let's start with Dishman. I think it was indicating a 300 rupee higher start at the open, but it's broadly at 288 now. So, that's a stock which is right now on the lower side, about 10 rupees higher, but it opened close to about 300 odd rupees. Let's also look at Alchem Labs and what's happening. I think that's also a stock which will be in focus. It's down 2%, but volumes are yet to pick up. So one would just wait and watch as to what happens on Alchem. But it's a positive news flow. It's not a negative news flow. Aurobindo Pharma is absolutely flat. They got that big approval yesterday, and right now it's up close to about 2 to 3 odd rupees. Not much has changed as far as Aurobindo is concerned. So that's a name which is right now up 2%. BEL, 90 paisa is the ex-dividend, so it's exactly reacting to that particular news flow. 90 paisa is where it is. Let's look at Hindustan Zinc. That is the big ex-dividend today. That's down about 27. Okay, so 27 was the ex-dividend. It's now down 35 rupees. So actually, technically, it's also down about 7 to 8 odd rupees. I'll just check what Zinc did overnight, but some of the commodities overnight were pretty weak. Tata Global Beverages, 2 rupees higher, 73,000 shares in terms of volume. So that's also a name in focus. They have signed for a JV. Let's look at Britannia as well. They have also done a JV. Don't really think it's material. Just look at the volumes. It's just 387 shares. So it's not much in terms of volumes also at this point of time. Idea Cellular on your screen, 89 rupees, 0.60 paisa higher. So not much that one can read into this as well. Anisha, any other names that you can pick up in terms of volumes?
Yes, Dishman Pharma continues with its up move. 1 million shares have already changed hands and it's up 6% now. We also have Hindustan Constructions, which is up 3%. Some of the financial stocks like Max India, Manappuram Finance, they're gaining and they're up about 2%. Then RSC, PFC, those twins are also up nearly 2% and other ones to watch out for. On the Nifty, we've seen Tata Power is one of the big gainers today. It's come up to about 90 rupees a share and it's seeing high volumes as well, up nearly 2.5%, nearly 91. So there seems to be something happening with the stock there. And on the losing end, we have Petronet down 2.5%. Bharat Financial Inclusion is down 1.5%, and Polo Tyres also down about 1.5%. Manas, what do you see on the charts for Tata Power? It's been facing so much resistance around 85, 86 levels, and now it's nearly at 91. Do you think there is a breakout happening here? What are the levels to watch out for?
3 weeks back, stock gave a clear breakout above 85 levels with decent volumes. And I think this rally will extend. The technical target comes near to 97, 98. So I think any correction is a great buying opportunity, especially till stock trading above 86. So on any correction near to 89, one can take a long call below 86. And you can set the target of 97. I think stock can take 97 index.
All right. So here, Manas feels that Tata Power could head towards 97 in the near term. Idea Cellular is also one that is buzzing today. It's up 0.5% or so. Avinash, do you have a view on Idea Cellular as well as Bharti Airtel? We are seeing consolidation in the industry now. Tower sale announcements coming through. Maybe something happens with Indus Towers and Idea stake there. How would you now approach these telecom counters?
Till that 10% stake was divested by the promoters, that is Bharti. I think such kind of deals are definitely going to happen more because these balance sheets have been leveraged significantly, and to that extent I think there is further scope that possibly we could see a further 10-12% dilution in Bharti Infratel to actually reduce the leverage on Bharti's balance sheet. So definitely the development, if this in case of Indus Towers fructifies, it definitely is a positive development just ahead of the merger of Vodafone and Idea, and I would believe that this is definitely kept out of the deal. So probably this kind of cash which comes to the company is definitely going to help them enhance their coverage as well as their balance sheet and deleverage the balance sheet. So in short, these are definitely positive sentimental kind of news flows, but I think a lot remains to be done on the ARPUs, which I think the competitive intensity is going to remain at least for the next 2 to 3 quarters.
All right. Siddharth, do you have a view on some of the retail stocks like Shoppers Stop? Shoppers Stop is up today nearly 3%. Over the last 3 months, it's up 30%. Some of their divisions like Hypercity are still struggling to turn around. But do you think that post-digitization, organized trade is going to benefit a lot? And what's your view on Shoppers Stop?
See, post GST, definitely all this organized play is going to have an edge over the unorganized segment. Of course, we know that unorganized segment is bigger than the organized segment in this space. So definitely it's a positive. We don't have a coverage on any of the stock in this space. But overall perspective, what we believe is because of demonetization along with GST, because initial phase of GST would be little painful because the shift from the current regime of taxation to GST will take little time. So I would say a quarter or so, these all companies can take a hit, or there can be a slowdown in terms of volume growth is concerned. But I think from Q3 or Q4 of next year, we may see pickup in terms of volumes as well as revenues coming up well.
All right. So you feel that this one could benefit from increase in volumes as well as revenues. On the BSE 500, again, we have some of the pharma stocks also doing well. Dishman is one that has moved up well. Do you have a view on these stocks, Srikanth, Dishman and Aurobindo Pharma?
I think pharma stocks are consolidating at these levels, and mid-cap pharmas are like doing well, especially like Dishman, which is like into breakout mode, or there is like one more pharma, Torrent Pharma, Ajanta Pharma, they are also doing well. But while looking at the overall formation, I am of the view that